Now, in e-commerce, there are two kinds of ways you can make money. In electronic commerce, I already explained what e-commerce. What does e-commerce mean, everybody? Electronic commerce. It means electronic buying and selling electronically. Now, the good thing about e-commerce is that you don't need, the buyer does not need to know the seller does not need to know the buyer. What brings them together is money. Immediately there is transfer of money, everybody is happy. So both the seller collects the product and both the buyer collects the money. Alright, so both the seller collects the money, the buyer, the seller collects the product, the buyer. Now, in e-commerce, there is what we call products. So every successful e-commerce person starts with products. If you want to start making money online, you start by selling products. So what Junior does, Junior started by I'm using them as a case study because they are the most successful e-commerce business now in Nigeria. Are we together? But they were not like this. I'm explaining how they started. So many of us are starting our own thing after that. Now, when you want to start e-commerce, you start by selling products. Now, when you are selling product doing e-commerce, it doesn't have to be your product. So what Junior did was that they opened an online mall. You know what a mall is? A mall is a big building that has small what? Shops. Are we together? So if you go to ShopRite, you will see a big ShopRite. Then inside you will see Glue, NTN, you will see boutiques, you will see fast food. So what Junior did was that they opened a big mall and small. So who are the small outlets? People who look at. Hey, please understand this thing. Are we together? No, you are sleeping. Are we together?
Continue.
I don't know. What will you do with this thing if you get it? I hope you are ready to make money.
Of course, that's right.
Now, I want to ask you all the questions. Everybody knew where Junior started. If you are more than 18 here or 15, you know when you can't tell me we're not seeing them.
Yes.
Now, who do you think was spending money when Junior started? Junior or the shop owners? Do you know how Junior started? Junior did not have this thing. What Junior provided was this thing. An e-mall, electronic mall, not physical mall. An electronic mall that can house what? Small shop owners. Now, those shop owners have a physical what? Shop. They have what? A physical what? Product. You know what Junior did? Junior did not have a physical shop, paying rent. They don't have products, importing products. You know what they did? They sent agents to go and be snapping those people's products. I'm telling you how you create an online mall. People who are already in our paid training, they are doing that. I think this second week now. They are going to have their own online mall and store and shop. Now, they went to snap people's products and put it on their online what? Online platform, and began to advertise it. Now, when buyers and customers begin to see it on their phone, what do? They click to buy. To buy whose product? Junior's product or the shop owners? They were buying Junior's product, but the product does not belong to what? You don't get what I'm saying. So Junior has gone to meet the shop owner that, hey, you are staying somewhere in Oshodi, somewhere in Ikeja, somewhere in Ikorodu, no problem. You can only sell in your locality. We will let the whole country see you. But guess what? For every call you receive from us that you are brought in a buyer, give us 15%. That was how Junior became a household name. So now, as I speak to you, they are no more doing product. They are now doing what you call hot selling product, which is what I'm focusing on today. Because this is where the money is. When you start in e-commerce, you start with this. But there is no much money in products. You can only make little. Let me tell you why. Because the competition is very, very high. Because the competition is very, very high. The competition is very, very high. In product, so what are products? Let me give you an example of product. TV, clothes, shoes, bags, phones. These are products that can be seen in every street. So Junior might or any other e-commerce store can have an hedge above other people because they are showing on people's phones. So people are likely to buy more there because they will trust that they are premium. They will trust that they can return. They will trust a whole lot of things. There's an assurance because it's a premium name. They built it over time. But the truth is that there is no much profit there because if a phone is being sold for 100,000 naira in a normal store, Junior can't sell it for 120. They have to either sell it for what? 98,500, 99,000, or a little above 100,000. The reason is that the competition is already there. Are we together? Yes. So they have to be careful. So, and why they could even sell it at 99 or 98.5 is because the owners of the product, shop owners, have already given them discount. That if you sell, don't worry, we are importers already. Take it at a less price. We'll give you your cut, but put it less. But the competition in this space is very high. So profit is very, very little. But anyhow, they did it over the years and they made money. They grew to point of now collecting products from shop owners and began these people. If you understand how this business works, after this training, two things will happen. It's either you dare something and go and start something, or get a partner and people. Do you know that even I remember when they were even building warehouse, they didn't use their money to do warehouse again. Do you know what they did? They advertised in newspaper and in online places that if you have any physical location that is in town and you want to be making money, maybe you have your father's house building that maybe before you even collect rent, there's fight between you and you have a particular place that is open, apply to be they called it one name. They want to use that space anyway to be storing product and be giving you a yearly rent, which they will spread for you over maybe 3 times payment or so. And people willingly withdrew this thing from whoever was using it. They began to apply. They call it something. The supply chain something. That was how they spread to Port Harcourt, to Abuja, to different places. Not with a single money. So when banks began to see that their names are beginning to be household names, everybody wants to buy on Gmail, so they could easily borrow them money to pay in advance or even buy off some of those buildings. So as at then, you will hear that they had one fulfillment center in every state, but now they have up to maybe 10, 15. Are we together?
Yes.
So under this product, there's profit, but it's very low. Now this is where this business is, and that is what I want to share with you today. So there is what we call hot selling products. For hot selling product, there are no products you can easily see on the shelf. Therefore, if you invest in hot selling product, you are likely in a short time to achieve all your goals in life with it. Let me take it again. In products, you are good. You can sustain yourself. You can make money. But if you invest in hot selling products, you are likely to quickly achieve your goals and aim in life because the competition in this space is very little. Where you make the money from is from what we call product acquisition research, PAR. So when your friends are busy selling products, you are busy thinking and doing research on what is that product that if I bring it into Calabar, to Lagos, that product cannot be seen easily. And because the monopoly of importation is on me, I can put any price on it and quickly make my money. You cash out on time. So once you find the product, that product becomes your winning product. Please, what do I call it, sir? It becomes your winning product. Another word for it is fast selling product. Fast selling product. If I ask some of us here, give me an example of a product, you can quickly mention things. But if I ask you, give me an example of a fast selling product, I doubt if you will be able to answer me. And that is why you need a skill on that. But I will mention one for you. Are we together? Do you know, let me give you something. When we were in Okoibi, before we came here, we had a member of our team of staff that came from Ekiti State. to join us in doing what we are doing. And this guy joined us in training people, but he was also listening and learning. This guy, after finishing several trainings that we have done, sat down and did his product acquisition research, his own product acquisition research, his own, I'm repeating it, his own. He has understood how it works because he needs to understand how it works. He sat down and thought about it. Don't forget what I said. I said he came from Ekiti State. That means he was not born here. He came like an immigrant, like to Lagos, to find good life, just the way anybody can. I don't know if you guys can believe me, but in 4 months, after he brought in the product, he did what I'm about to show you now. He sold the product online. This guy bought a Toyota Camry Logo, what we call Mozo. After that, he rented an apartment. Now, this guy was sleeping in the office when he came. He was sleeping in the office. So when all the trainees go home, he also goes as if he has, and then he comes back to stay with everybody. And it was really good because the office also was very secure because we know someone was around. But when everybody goes, he carries his laptop, not even his office laptop, sits down, does his product acquisition research, and once he cuts one, that's what I'm telling you, that one winning product is enough to take care of. So in the beginning I said, if you understand it, can take care of your needs for life. And once this guy found the product, and I'll tell you what that product is, I will show you how he did it. Not him, we have so many stories like that, but I'm using his own, just where I'm using Junior as a case study. And that was how he bought a Camry, rented a good house, someone that could not marry it, send the wife abroad, build a house from one product. Do you think it's possible?
Yeah.
That is what a winning product can do for you. Do you know why? If you bought in a product, do you think you could have made such money? It can't.
It can, but it will take time.
It cannot even make such money because the profit on a product is pegged. I just told you that if a product is 100,000, you can't do plus or minus 2,000 naira above or plus minus 2,000 naira below. How many of you do you want to sell to make so much money? Do you know when you know a winning product, your profit margin could be 300% on one product? Do you know why you can put a price on it and it will be so? Because you are a sole importer of that product. Are we together?
Yes.
Are we together?
Yes.
Have you ever heard our guys in Idumota, my very good friends from the east? Have you ever heard? Nah, 500 naira thing, na India on top am. In fact, as it is so safe. Nothing there on top. I just want to come up old stock, make I bring the new one, make it enter. But yet, if you check the parking space in that market, he uses one of the best cars. By December, he's going to the house he built in his village, and his kids are going to the best schools in your community. And his tribe has bought all the houses in Lagos. Do you understand? They've bought all the houses in the major places, whether it's Magodo, Lekki, wherever. Their tribe has bought everything. And the job they do, all the people in their tribe, they are not bankers. They are not, what are those 99 or NNPC workers? As in, they are in the market. And they pride themselves with the title importer what? Exporter. Do you know why? Because as an importer, whatever price you put on your product, do you know they determine the price? Do you know the importer determines your your purchase power? Whatever price they put on it is what you buy. And they have a union that none of them can go down. I'm talking those ones doing normal trading. They've not gone online. I'm talking the profit normally in the market. They determine it. And no member of the union can go below that thing. You can do a small thing, maybe 1,000, but you cannot sell it less. And you, the retailer, the buyer, will be thinking, for them to all be selling at this, what they are making is 5,000. If it was 5,000, they can't pay the shop rent. Are we together?
Yes.
Are we together?
Yeah.
That's normal product. They are not doing nonsense. Most of them are not doing nonsense. They are doing normal product and they do look at what they are achieving. And it is being said that if they are allowed to start their own nation, that they are likely to be the China. And I know what's happening in Aba. I know what's happening in Anambra, in Nnewi, and all those places. It's true. So, but they've not even been allowed to start. Look at who they are and what they control banks. They are the major people liquidating banks. If they pull out their money from some states, the trade in that place will finish. Are we together? But that's just on normal products. They are not doing outside. But by importing product, they are making so much and they are achieving such things. Now, in hot selling product, there are now products that you can't find in the shop. What your job is to find the product, bring it in, and put your price on it. And because there's monopoly of pricing as a sole importer, whatever you put on it becomes it, and you make your profit. So there are some of those products that the landing cost is 600 naira, and you will be selling at 20,000 naira. Are we together? If the landing cost of a product, I'll show you. If the landing cost of a product is 600 naira and you're selling at 18,000 naira, can somebody pick a calculator for me and calculate what percentage of profit is that? I want you to pick a calculator and calculate for me, sir.
Landing cost 600, I mean.
Okay, let's not be too nice. Let's even say landing cost is 2,000 naira and you sold at 18,000 naira. Calculate percentage profit for me. I want to know, maybe we have good mathematicians. I'm waiting for your calculation. We brought in a product for 2,000 naira landing cost. Landing cost means product and shipping and every logistic, 2,000 naira. And you sold at 18,000 naira. How many percentage profit is that? Don't forget that if you sold at 4,000 naira, that's 100% profit. Alright? So use that to calculate for me. 2,000 sold at 4,000, 100% profit. At 6,000, 200% profit. At 8,300, so calculate it to 18,000. Tell me how many percentage profit it is. How many percentage?
Roughly 9%.
900%.
Yes, sir.
How many percentage? 100% is 4,000.
4,000.
So how many percentage is 18,000?
900.
No.
900%. It's close to how many percent? 1,000%. And I just pegged it at that. Most of the time it's always higher than that. My purpose is okay, if it's 2,000, now brought one when you calculated it. So what kind of project can you have in life? Such as sending your kids to school, building a house, marrying a beautiful wife from maybe Serbia or India. You know some people, that's their project, to marry a beautiful wife. So what is that project that you want to do that if you sold that product 10, that's how much? 180,000 naira.
Yes, sir.
And out of the 180,000, 2,000 naira times 10 is what? 20,000. Would have given you 180,000 naira. What project? I'm talking 10. It's not possible to send 10 products to people in Lagos. Are we together? Because even in this locality alone, 100 can go in this locality. And what are the areas in this locality? You're talking Magodo, you're talking Ojudu, you're talking GRA, Ikeja. I'm just talking this area. I'm not even talking. Then you're talking Ikusi. Then you're talking. Then you now move to Lekki, VI, Ikoyi, Aja. Then you now move to Lagos Island, to Yaba, to all those rural area. Then you now move. You understand? I'm just talking this area. Is it possible to sell 10? Even if I target only Magodo, which you will see how it's done. Even if I target only Magodo, I can't sell 10. But I'm just putting it at the barest minimum to let you know how the profit used to be and why someone could in a short time become a multi-millionaire doing importation on odd selling products, dropshipping products. So you may sold 10, that one product, and we don't bring in one product, we bring in a list of 4 or 5. So you sold just 10, you got 180,000 naira. Let's now say you sold 100. How much is that?
1.9.
And then someone can say, okay, how long can I sell it? I told somebody here also, and I have many times people that will talk here. I told someone asked me that this training, if I take it and start the e-commerce business. When can I start making the money? I told the person, I said, in a day you could make up to 100,000 naira. He said, are you serious? So there was a day that after his training, can I get my phone? I want to show them a picture. So anyway, while they are bringing it, after his training, we gave him one winning product. He should do research on other products. One day he made 120,000 naira. And the person who made the money for him is here. The lady that went to get my phone is the one that supplied to the people. In one day. Are we together? So when he brought in the product, we showed him what the kind of product that he should bring in. Josephine, you are one of the people. Where can I put this hand? Try and get me that small chair at the reception. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
You work for Mr. Kenny. Your first winning product was what? A nanotape. That and smartwatch, I guess, right? That day that you were with, what's the name of that lady? Our staff. Didi. That the envelopes were there. What was the what or what was in the envelope? I'm about to show them the envelope.
I think one tape was sold for 6,000. We'll have like 10 of each of the nanotapes.
What
The
about the
orders that
smartwatch?
came in, and then for the smartwatch 15,000, and we'll have like 4 orders. That very day. That was just like our first.
In total, how much was that? So this was the when they placed it, when they were packaging it. You could use your mind to count how many envelopes was that, and check the price on each envelope. What price did you see there?
I'm not seeing it.
What price is this? What is this?
15,000.
15,000.
Look at the amount of envelopes there. All this went out in a day. So if it was just about 10 envelopes that was at 15,000, how much do you think that is?
150,000.
If that was sold 5 times in a week, let's even say market was not good, it was sold 3 times a week.
That's 150.
For a month, which is 450 times 4. 4 weeks in a month. How much would that be?
900.
1.2.
Talk to me, how much?
And 1.8.
So is it possible to make millions selling selling products in a month?
That's
Possible.
So if you ask me, I know people, I have the real people that are doing that here. Are we together?
Yeah.
So the question is not when will I be making the money? The question is when will you want to start? Once you start, the money starts. How does it expand? The passion you put into it, the more you push it. So let me now get into the practical. Are we together? So I'm talking about hot selling products. I'm talking of product acquisition research. We use a whole full day to teach people how to do product acquisition research. You were there on Saturday. How many hours were you used to learn product acquisition research?
almost a day.
Full day. Teaching people how you can recognize the product that will make you. There had been commerce before Jack Ma started Alibaba AliExpress. But the recognition of winning product is what made Alibaba and AliExpress #1 in the world. And you know the position Jeff Bezos is also. At during lockdown, he was the richest man in the world. I don't know if they've taken it now. I think Elon Musk took it. But it's always between 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And the wife of Jeff Bezos also became the richest woman during their divorce. Am I correct? No, if there's any error, be correcting me on because I'm not good at statistics. Are we together?
Yeah.
So let's look at how you can actually activate your e-commerce business. I will just touch the key areas for you. There is one site. I'm giving this for free. They are not paying for this. I'm giving this for free because there is no amount. Okay, that is too much as a value. When you're giving value out, there is no, you can't quantify value. Pray for Nigeria. You know why I said so? Nigeria, I don't know if the name Nigeria might be one of the richest country in the world soonest, but the entities that make up the current Nigeria, the Igbos, the Yoruba, and the Hausas, I don't know about Fulani, but the Hausas people, I'm sorry if you're in Fulani here, are likely, if they are allowed to multiply they are allowed to control and manage their own resources and intellectual property. The people, the entity that are under the name Nigeria are likely to produce the best nations on earth. Do you know there was a time this country, China, was borrowing money more than the way Nigeria was borrowing money? Do you know there was a time in China they were so poor that they said they hurt their children, some of them? Do you know what they did? They closed their border for 10 years and invested into manufacturing. So during that 10 years, they produced so much to consume, and because the policy was that they would close it for 10 years, they were not exporting, so they had extra in storehouses. Immediately they met and they decided to open the border. The beginning of the Chinese Revolution, controlling and feeding the world and supplying the world, began. And you know what happened when Trump was in power? The rivalry was between him and China to control the world power, because they became the #1 supplier of the world's need. Trade and e-commerce is where the world is going to. If you and I, if we die today and come back to this world in 1,000 years to come, we are not going to see any physical market anywhere again. You don't understand what I'm saying. The future, where the world is going now, I'm telling you this now, please mark it. The transportation, you know, it started from car in the world, then it translated into trains, then it came up with aeroplane. Very soon, people are going to be traveling with an apparatus that will be controlled by light. That when you on the light of that apparatus here, the product, the entity would live here. You know, light and sound, they have great speed. Do you know? That apparatus will appear in another place without you seeing how the trace of how it went. You will see what I'm saying. Do you know why? Because every time if you look at the history of the world, everything is going gently, is detaching from space and time. It will get to a time that you won't need to touch things before you get things done. Now people are learning online, little by little. Little by little, knowledge is taken away. A time will come, there will be no physical classroom again. Who could have thought that concerts, musical concerts, could be done virtually? Who could have thought it years back that you could? And do you know something? Comedians before, musicians before have to do a physical concert, right? To become popular, to make money. How do they make money now? By the amount of touch you touch on their music. Immediately you touch the music and download it. It's called streams. We teach streams now in under our social media plan. When you touch the thing, 200 naira goes into the account. Multiplied by the population of Nigeria. That is how they are making the money. Before it's a CD. Are you with me? Everything is going out of sight. It's leaving the site. It was tape. Before CD, it was tape. So you think it will remain on CD? Do you know CD is gone now? It has turned to streaming. So you thought it will stay in streaming? It can't stay in streaming. The world is always evolving. It's always going. So get ready for devices that as you think the thing, the music, the account, as you think that you want a Burna Boy music, they will see an alert in your account. You think it's a joke, you will see. It might not be thinking, as I said, it might be you looking at the device and the sensor will read that you want that thing and it will go. But watch out, that's what is happening. Why I say that is that China, when they were broke, all they needed to change their financial story was to look within and continue manufacturing. They manufactured to a point that they have to start supplying other nations. And in supplying other nations have to start depending on. Do you know what it means? You should be supplying people a product. It means they will be dependent on you. When you become an e-commerce expert, you become a problem solver. And in this world that we are in, nobody pays you money until you solve a problem for them. You are sleeping, I know. So what do you do to start your hot selling product? So I'm not talking about products. Leave product. You know what to do to do e-commerce for product. Just get to the market, buy them. That's products. You'll make some money there. We are in under our e-commerce training. There's a whole training of products. I want to focus on hot selling product. How do you find hot selling product? Because hot selling product in a month can quickly give you millions. There is no expenses you want to spend when you make a $1 million product. That will be up to half of that money. There is no expense, whether it's logistics, whether it's adverts, whatever it is. Except, do you know when people lose in hot selling? When the product they are advertising is not what? An hot selling product. They will now be spending money advertising what? There will be no result. They will be struggling. In the training, you will see how you can escape that and what used to cause it, and now you can quickly migrate. Are we together?
Yes.
If it is hot selling, it must be moving. Bring the folder in the front there that Groot just leave it. Or are they taking it out? The advert was on for just 30 minutes. Let me show you how much is coming. They are sending it out this morning. Let me show you. So we are not just talking what we know. This is going to our papa. This one is going to barracks. How much is this? This 13%. That's 26,000 naira. The advert was run for how many minutes? 30 minutes. If it was left for a full day, calculate how much could have been made. Talk to me. Talk to me now. It was left for 30